welcome back to the channel. I'm Michael Studebaker, and today we're going to be discussing how you can retire by the age of 30 and the calculations you just need to figure that out. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like the video. Hit the notification bell if you want to see more content on personal finance. Now let's get straight into it. The first thing I would like to introduce you guys to is the FIRE movement. This is a movement I've been following since I've started my personal finance journey. FIRE stands for Financially Independent, Retire Early. And it's basically a whole community of people who specialize and go into depth on hows and what's of exactly what you need to be able to retire at any age. Now, since we're talking about retiring at age 30, I'll be showing how and what you'll need to retire by then. But if you're older and want to retire at a later age, you can just adjust the calculations at that age, which is pretty simple. So there's a few things you need to know when calculating for retirement. The first thing is how much money do you need to spend every year, or annual expenses for a better term. Another factor you'll need to know is how much you have saved at this moment. And the last thing is you need to know how much money do you currently make in total. Once you know the answer to these three factors, it will be able to tell you everything you need to know to be able to retire by 30. To start this calculation, the most significant factor you need to know is basically your annual expenses. So if you know your monthly expenses, multiply that by 12 to get the annual. The rule of thumb here is if you're under the age of 30 and you want your money to last indefinitely without running out, you can only spend 3% annually of what you have invested. This is why your annual expenses is going to be playing a big role in how much you need invested to retire, because since you can only use 3% of what you invested annually, this equates to every $100 per month spent, you'll need to have $40,000 total invested in order for you to generate that $100 per month indefinitely. Now that we've got the expense factor out of the way, we're moving on to how much money you have saved up currently, as well as invested if you have. Whatever that amount is, divided by 33, and that gives you the amount of your investments we'll be able to replace. Now that you know that, you can take your annual expense and multiply by 33, which will give you the amount needed invested to be able to cover those expenses indefinitely. It is important that you stick to only spending 3% of your total investments annually, because if you even go over by 1%, then it won't last you indefinitely anymore, so be careful with that. If you spend 4% of your total investments annually, it will only last you 30 years of retirement. So this is why I emphasize keeping it at 3%. The last factor of the calculation is how much money you make in total. This is going to decide how long it'll take you to reach your retirement goal and whether or not you'll need to earn more money or increase your income stream to get there sooner or on time. Now, I didn't say it was going to be easy to retire by 30, but it is possible. If you're working or have income streams that allow you to save 65 to 90% of your income, you'll be able to retire, meaning covering all your expenses through investments within 10.5 years or less, depending if you're more on the 65% or the 90% end of the spectrum. Practically, if you want to do this by 30 years old, you either have to make a lot of money or you'll need to spend very little money. But assuming you guys just want to make a whole bunch of money as fast as possible to be able to retire, I'll give you an honest rundown on making as much as possible. Your best shot at being able to retire by 30 and make a lot of money is to work a job that pays you based on your results, not how much time you put in. And at the end of the day, if you want to make a lot of money just to be able to retire quickly, you got to take away the notion that more time you work, the more money you make, because that's very much not true at all. That's why it's important to have passive income streams that work for you as well as a job, because the passive income streams will be paying you even when you sleep, whereas a conventional job will be paying you usually for the hours you put in. My email's there. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, found it helpful. If you did, please subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell if you want to see more content on personal finance. I hope that this video helped show you guys what you need to retire by the age of 30 and that it is very possible to achieve. Now, some people may need to cut back on spending to save more just save more, but doing it now rather than later, you'll be thanking yourself down the road. I hope introducing you guys to the FIRE movement will help you on your journey to financial independence. Remember, consistency is key and hard work pays off. Thank you guys. I'm Michael, and I'll see you guys in the next video.